My child, stop what you're doing and listen. Yes, you. The noise around you can wait, for what I am about to speak cannot. My voice comes to you now, not as a whisper of comfort, but as a divine interruption, a holy awakening. Don't ignore this. What I'm about to tell you can't wait. The hour is urgent, the moment sacred. You have drifted too long, distracted by what fades, while eternity stands at your door knocking. I am calling you back to awareness, back to purpose, back to me. Hear me now, for this is not just another message, it is your turning point. Do you feel it, my child? The stirring in your spirit that will not let you rest. The world moves as if it has endless tomorrows, but I tell you, the hour is not as long as many think. The air itself trembles with divine urgency. Heaven's clock ticks toward moments you cannot afford to ignore. This is not fear I speak into you. It is awakening. You have slumbered under the lullaby of comfort for too long, and the stillness of your heart has grown heavy with distraction. I am shaking you now, not to harm you, but to rouse you from the fog that has covered your vision. You sense it, the shifting, the pressure, the silent cry in the air that something greater is moving. It is I, calling you to rise from your passivity, to stand alert and aware in this sacred now. I am not distant from your days. Every sunrise had been a message, every delay, a whisper, every restlessness, a divine alarm. The urgency you feel within is my spirit knocking, asking to be welcome once more at the center of your life. You cannot treat this as another passing emotion, for I am not speaking in riddles. My voice is upon the wind, and it carries weight, eternal weight. What I want to do, and you cannot wait for the convenience of tomorrow. For tomorrow is never promised, and every hesitation gives ground to the enemy who longs to dull your senses and blind your heart. I am speaking to you because you still have breath, purpose, and divine assignment upon you. You are not here by chance. Your time was chosen with intention. Listen closely. The urgency I bring is not meant to panic you. It is meant to ignite you. You have been given gifts, callings, and seeds that were never meant to stay buried. There are words I placed inside you that the world still needs to hear, acts of love that only your hands can deliver, and prayers that only your voice can release. I am awakening you to the sacred weight of your life. You must no longer see yourself as ordinary. Every heartbeat carries potential for my glory to move through you. I am inviting you to live awake, to move as one who knows eternity presses close. My child, this moment is holy. You stand on the edge of divine unfolding. Heaven is ready, angels are positioned, my spirit is stirring. But I will not force what I have freely offered. You must choose to respond. Do not ignore the trembling inside you. It is the sound of destiny calling. The hour is late, but it is not lost. Rise with me now, and I will show you what it means to live fully alive in the light of eternity. Do not wait. What I am about to reveal can change everything. Do you feel that quiet unease that refuses to fade? The gentle trembling in your soul that you cannot explain? That stirring is not confusion. It is the echo of my voice moving within you. When the world grows loud and your mind spins with uncertainty, that inward tug is my spirit awakening something deep, something eternal. You have prayed for change, for clarity, for revival. And though you may think I am silent, I have already begun the work within you. The unease you feel is not absence, it is preparation. I am breaking the hardened soil of your heart, for what once satisfied you no longer will. You are being called into a deeper place, one that cannot be reached through comfort or control. You sense it. How old desires lose their flavor, how old habits no longer fit the person you are becoming. That's not failure, child. It's transformation. My Spirit is stirring the waters of your heart, and like the pool of Bethesda, whoever responds in faith to that movement will find renewal and life again. You have tried to quiet this stirring by distraction, by filling your days with noise, work, screens, and endless striving. But no matter how much you chase, something within keeps whispering that there is more. That whisper is me. I am calling you out from the shallows into the deep. You have grown used to predictable rhythms, but I am disrupting them so that you might encounter me afresh. Every restlessness is a summons to intimacy, every longing a reminder that your spirit was made to dwell in the presence of the eternal. Do not fear the discomfort of awakening, for the ache you feel is the birth pain of new purpose. When you sense that holy discontent, lean into it, not away from it. Let it draw you toward me, for within that stirring lies the doorway to your next chapter. You ask me, Lord, what are you doing? And I say to you, I am awakening what you buried. I am resurrecting what fear silenced and what doubt buried beneath routine. You feel unsettled because your spirit is outgrowing your surroundings. I am enlarging your capacity to carry my presence. What you once thought was loss is actually expansion. Listen to that inner movement. It is not confusion, but creation. You are being shaped for what comes next, and I will not allow you to remain where you've always been. You wonder why you cannot hear me clearly anymore, why my voice feels distant though I have never moved an inch from you. The truth is, my voice has not faded. Your world has grown louder. You have let the noise of lesser things drown out the whisper of eternity. I am still speaking, but you are surrounded by so many echoes of the temporary that my eternal words get lost in the clutter. You scroll through moments that steal your peace, chase opinions that cloud your discernment, and fill your silence with sound when I have been waiting in the stillness. The enemy does not need to destroy you if he can simply distract you. And distraction, my child, is the quietest form of destruction. You do not notice its grip until your soul feels numb, until my presence, which once thrilled you, feels faint and distant. I do not condemn you for this, but I must awaken you from it. You are not meant to live diluted. I designed your spirit to hear me in clarity, to sense my leading in the quiet corners of your day. But when your attention is divided, your perception dulls. The more your mind feeds on noise, the less sensitive your heart becomes to my movement. I am calling you to return to simplicity, to unclutter your life, to guard your gaze, and to make space for me again. For I do not shout to compete with your distractions. I whisper to those who truly want to listen. Silence is not empty. It is sacred ground where my presence speaks. So come away from the noise. Turn off the voices that drain you. Step away from the urgency that the world demands, and let my peace reset your rhythm. When you quiet the outer chaos, you will begin to hear me again in ways that shake your soul. My voice is not lost to you. It's waiting beyond the noise. And when you finally pause long enough to listen, you will discover that I have been speaking all along. My child, if only you could feel the weight of my heart for you in this very moment. I am not distant or detached. I am near, nearer than your breath. The words I speak now do not come from anger, but from making love. I have watched you run after what cannot satisfy, hoping to fill the emptiness that only I can fill. You carry pain I never meant for you to bear alone, and though you hide your tears, I have caught every one. This message is not to condemn you. It is my heart crying out for your return. I long for you to know the tenderness of my presence again, to walk with me not out of duty, but out of desire. I am not calling you to religion, but to relationship. You have given fragments of yourself to many things, but I want your whole heart, for it was shaped by my hands and only fits safely in mine. You must know, There has never been a moment when I turned away from you. Even when you wandered, I followed. Even when you fell, I stayed near. The ache you feel deep inside is my love refusing to let you go. I am reaching for you not because you have failed, but because I cannot bear to watch you live beneath your purpose. I created you for more, for peace that passes understanding, for joy that no circumstance can steal. The world offers imitations, but I offer wholeness. Hear my cry, come back to the place where you can rest in me. You will find that I have not moved, I have been waiting. Arms open, heart wide. I am not shouting because I am angry. I am crying because I love you too deeply to stay silent. My heart burns for you to know the life you were made for. Let this be the moment you turn toward me again. Let this be the hour you remember who you are and whose you are. Everything in heaven leans forward when a hug responds to my call. Will you answer? For this cry, this plea, is love itself, reaching out for you. You call my name, yet I feel the distance in your heart. You speak as though I am close, but your soul lingers at the edges of our fellowship, hesitant to come near. You tell yourself that nothing has changed, but you know deep within that something sacred has slipped away. This distance is not because I have withdrawn from you. It is because the world has quietly built walls around your heart. I see how life's disappointments have caused you to pull back, how unanswered prayers have made you question whether I still hear you, and how the sting of loss has made you afraid to hope. You still reach for me, but you do so with caution, as if expecting rejection instead of embrace. But hear me, beloved, I never stopped pursuing you. Every moment you turned away, I followed. Every time you hid in shame, I whispered your name through the silence. My love has been relentless, patient, and unwavering. This hidden distance you feel is not meant to shame you. It is a sign of my mercy calling you back. The emptiness in your spirit is not a void. It's an invitation. I miss your nearness. I long for the moments when your heart was free to rest in mine without fear or reserve. You've allowed your busyness to replace intimacy, and your faith has become routine instead of relationship. But I am not content with your rituals. I desire your heart. I am reaching through the layers of distraction, guilt, and exhaustion, calling you home to the simplicity of our love. Do not think that the distance between us disqualifies you. It only reveals how deeply you were made for communion with me. You say, Lord, I don't feel you anymore. But my presence is not left. It's just been crowded out. You have let lesser loves and fleeting comforts fill the spaces that once belonged to me. Yet even now, I am drawing near, closer than your breath, waiting for your yes. You do not need to find me. You only need to turn. When you do, you will realize I have been standing beside you all along, holding out my hand. Come closer, child. The distance between us can vanish in a heartbeat of surrender. You didn't mean to drift. It just happened slowly, quietly, beneath the surface of ordinary days. One compromise here, one distraction there, and before long, your fire dimmed without your noticing. You still pray, still believe, still care, but something of the spark that once defined your walk with me has faded. I watched as you allowed small things to take root, the excuses, the complacency, the gradual acceptance of what once made you uncomfortable. It wasn't rebellion that drew you away, it was neglect. You stopped feeding your spirit, and the hunger for my presence dulled. Yet I never stopped calling your name, hoping you would feel the tug of my spirit pulling you back before the drift carried you too far. Drifting happens when attention wanes. You took your eyes off me, not in defiance but in weariness. You started managing instead of abiding, surviving instead of living. I know the fatigue that has numbed you. Life has pressed hard, and you've tried to hold yourself together by your own strength. But my child, your strength was never meant to sustain you. Only my presence can. The danger of drifting is that it feels peaceful while pulling you away from purpose. It doesn't shout, it lulls. You think everything is fine until you realize the shore you left behind is barely visible. I am speaking now to awaken you before the distance widens further. This is not condemnation. It is restoration in motion. The drift stops the moment you turn your gaze back to me. You do not need to swim back in panic. Simply look toward me, and I will close the distance with one breath of my love. I will steady your heart, reignite your spirit, and bring you back to the place where joy and peace overflow. My grace is stronger than your drift, and my reach is longer than your fall. Return, not with shame, but with trust, and I will anchor you once more in my unchanging presence. I see the war that no one else sees, the battle that rages within the quiet corners of your mind. You smile, but inside you wrestle with fear, doubt, guilt, and exhaustion. You lie awake replaying regrets, second-guessing your worth, and wondering if you're strong enough to keep going. But listen to me, child. You are not losing your mind. You are under spiritual attack. The enemy cannot touch the salvation I've given you, so he aims for your thoughts. He plants lies disguised as reason, despair disguised as realism, and self-condemnation disguised as humility. He wants to drown out my truth with the noise of your own insecurities. Yet even in your confusion, I am there, whispering peace into the storm that rages within you. The battlefield of your mind is not where you are meant to live. It is where you are meant to overcome. Every anxious thought that rises against you is a shadow of a defeated foe. You forget that I have already given you authority to silence the voice of fear. You do not need to entertain every thought that enters your mind. Measure it against my truth. When I call you beloved, do not agree with the voice that says you are not enough. When I promise you peace, do not accept the lie that turmoil is your portion. You are not helpless. You are equipped with my Spirit, who brings power, love, and a sound mind. You have fought this battle in silence, but you were never meant to fight alone. I am here, steady, unshaken, holding you through the chaos. Each time your mind spirals, call upon me. I will meet you there and bring calm where confusion has ruled. The storm within will not last forever. Trust my word more than your worry, and you will find that peace is not the absence of struggle. It is my presence in the midst of it. Stand firm, beloved. You are stronger than you think, because I am within you, and I have never lost a battle. You have felt it, the quiet whisper that questions your worth, the subtle voice that makes you doubt my love, the faint suggestion that maybe I have overlooked you. That voice is not mine. It belongs to the deceiver who has studied your pain and your patterns, crafting lies tailored to your insecurities. He does not roar to frighten you. He whispers to persuade you. His greatest weapon is not power. It is deception. He knows he cannot steal what I have given you, so he tries to make you surrender it by believing falsehoods about me, about yourself, and about your future. Every time you think, maybe God is done with me, or I've gone too far, or I am not enough, you echo the enemy's words, not mine. I never speak hopelessness. Even when I correct you, my words carry restoration. But the enemy dresses despair in reason, and you call it reality. You believe it because it sounds like your own voice. Yet I tell you, those thoughts that bring fear, shame, and separation, they are not truth, they are poison. You have allowed the enemy to narrate chapters of your story that he did not write. He paints your failures as final and your waiting as abandonment. But I am the author of your story, and I do not end in defeat. My child, you must learn to discern the difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction draws you closer to me. Condemnation drives you away. The enemy wants you bound by guilt, rehearsing mistakes that I already forgave. He distracts you from your purpose by keeping you trapped in your past. But I tell you now, your past is a testimony waiting to be redeemed, not a sentence to be served. Do not let lies define you when my truth has already set you free. When you feel darkness closing in, speak my promises aloud. They break deception like dawn breaking the night. You overcome not by your strength, but by truth that cannot be shaken. Fix your thoughts on me, and the lies will lose their power. Remember, Satan cannot curse what I have blessed, and you are mine. Walk in that assurance. Stand in that identity. You are not a victim of deception. You are the child of truth. I see you trying to hold it all together. The responsibilities, the expectations, the fears you don't speak aloud. You carry so much that your soul bends under the strain, yet you still tell yourself you must stay strong. You've been conditioned to think that letting go means failure, that admitting weariness is weakness. But I did not design you to bear such weight alone. You were never meant to carry burdens that only my hands can sustain. Each worry you tuck away, each silent tear you wipe before anyone notices, I see them all. You whisper, "I'm fine," but your heart trembles beneath the surface. I know the heaviness that lingers when you wake, and the sigh that escapes when you think no one hears. My beloved, I hear every sigh, and I whisper back, you were not made to carry this by yourself. You've taken on loads that belong to me. The control you cling to, the guilt you rehearse, the fears about tomorrow. I never asked you to bear them. You have mistaken self-sufficiency for strength. True strength is surrender. The moment you release your grip, my hands are free to move. I know you fear what will happen if you stop trying to manage everything, but let me show you the miracle of release. When you let go, you do not lose control, you gain peace. When you trust me with your weight, you make room for my grace to sustain you. The yoke I offer is easy because I carry the heaviest part. Lay it down, child. All of it. The pressure to perform, the fear of disappointing others, the anxiety about outcomes. You are not alone in this. I am not watching from a distance. I am standing beside you, ready to lift what's been crushing you. Breathe deeply in my presence, and let me exchange your heaviness for my rest. This is not a call to weakness. It is an invitation to wholeness. Let me carry what was never meant to be yours, and you will find freedom you have long forgotten. You have waited long, haven't you? You stood in faith through storms that refused to pass, believing my promises even when years seemed to mock your hope. You tell yourself you're strong, but I see the weariness behind your smile. The delay feels endless. You wonder if I've forgotten what I said. You whisper in your quiet moments, "Lord, how much longer?" And though you try to hide it, disappointment has begun to settle in your heart like dust on an unused altar. But hear me, your waiting has not been wasted. What feels like delay is divine design. I have not denied you. I have been preparing you. The promises I gave you were never lies. They were seeds, and seeds take time to break open before they bloom. I know it hurts when the waiting stretches longer than your patience, when you see others receiving what you've prayed for. But I measure timing differently than you. I am not just preparing the blessing. I'm preparing you to hold it. What you call delay, I call development. Every moment of waiting has been shaping your faith, stretching your endurance, teaching your spirit to trust when sight fails. You think I am late, but I am weaving the story in perfect alignment with my purpose. You are standing in the hallway between promise and fulfillment, and though the door is not opened yet, my hand is already on the handle. So, do not give up in the in-between. You are closer than you think. The weariness you feel is the final stretch before breakthrough. Let your waiting be worship, not worry. Do not despise the pause. It is sacred space where I refine you. Every second you remain faithful is storing up strength and grace for the season ahead. I will come through, and when I do, it will not just answer your prayer, it will redeem your waiting. Trust me, child. I have not forgotten. The delay is almost over. Can you sense it, my child? The quiet rearranging happening beneath the surface of your life. What you call confusion, I call construction. You are in a season of divine alignment, where everything that once felt scattered is being gathered and placed according to my design. I am shifting things around you and within you, not to disrupt your peace, but to prepare you for what's coming. Every delay, every closed door, every unexpected change, it is all part of a larger orchestration you cannot yet see. I am positioning people, opening paths, and even allowing detours to lead you to the exact place where purpose and timing will meet. What feels like loss is often alignment in disguise. You may feel unsteady because I am uprooting what no longer fits the next chapter of your destiny. But do not fear the shifting ground beneath your feet. I am the foundation that does not move. You have prayed for me to lead you, and now I am answering, though not in the way you expected. You thought I would simply bless your plans, but I am rewriting them. You thought I would build upon what you started, but I am rebuilding from the ground up. You cannot see it yet, but I am aligning relationships, opportunities, and even your inner desires so that they reflect my will and not the world's pressure. Trust this process, even when it feels like everything familiar is slipping away. Sometimes, I must remove the good to make room for the divine. You have outgrown certain places, people, and patterns, and if I did not shift them, you would settle for less than what I prepared. So, do not resist what I am realigning. Surrender to the rhythm of my movement. I am aligning your purpose with heaven's timing. When everything comes into place, you will look back and see that not a single moment was wasted. The chaos you feared will reveal itself as divine order and motion. Stay still, stay faithful, and stay expectant, for my alignment never misses its mark. You have talked much, prayed much, even cried much, but have you listened lately? My voice has not ceased, your attention has. I am calling you to listen again, not for new revelation but for renewed relationship. My whisper has been drowned out by the hum of your worries and the noise of the world. You seek answers, yet you do not sit still long enough to receive them. I speak not always in thunder, but in silence, not always through miracles, but through moments. When you quiet your heart, you will find that I am not far. I am already speaking in the stillness you often avoid. I know your mind is busy, filled with plans, questions, and responsibilities. But if you would only pause, you would hear me in the ordinary. My voice weaves through the sunrise, through the laughter of those you love, through the conviction that nudges you when you almost take the wrong step. I am not silent, but selective. I do not waste my words on distracted hearts. You say you long to hear me, but I long for you to listen with expectancy, not anxiety. My presence is not found in constant motion but in intentional rest. When you sit with me, not asking, not performing, but simply being, you will rediscover the intimacy that fear and busyness have stolen. Listening is not weakness, it is warfare. For when you hear me clearly, deception loses its grip. So, tune your spirit once more to my frequency. Let your ears be uncluttered and your heart be tender again. The world shouts for your attention, but I whisper for your affection. Listen again, beloved, for the next direction, the next answer, the next healing. It's already waiting in my voice. You still remember what I spoke over your life, don't you? The dreams, the prophecies, the words that once burned bright within you but now feel dim under the weight of time. You have wondered if you misheard me, if those promises were ever real, or if they expired when life took its unexpected turns. But I tell you now, my promises do not expire, they mature. Will you call forgotten? I call infinite. You see delay, I see preparation. Every word I have spoken over you is still alive, breathing beneath the surface, waiting for the appointed time to bloom. You have looked at barren fields and assumed the harvest would never come, yet the seed of my word cannot die. It only waits for divine timing. I know you've grown weary of hoping. The ache of unfulfilled expectation has made your faith feel fragile. But I am not a man that I should lie, nor do I make promises I cannot keep. I am the same one who spoke to Abraham when he was old and barren, the same one who brought Joseph from the pit to the palace, the same one who called dead bones to rise again. My timeline may stretch your patience, but it never fails. What I have promised is not pending because of your mistakes. It is positioned for your maturity. There are lessons, character, and resilience I am forming in you so that when the promise manifests, you will carry it with humility and wisdom. So, do not bury what I have spoken. Dust off the words, revisit the visions, and breathe faith into them again. The promises are not gone, they are awakening. You are standing closer to their fulfillment than you realize. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment has been shaping you to receive the very thing you've been waiting for. My promise still stands, and when it comes to pass, it will remind you that I never forget what I begin. Trust me, for what is unfinished today will soon testify of my perfect completion. You have asked me to purify you, but you did not expect the fire to burn this hot, did you? The trials, the losses, the moments that stripped you bare, they have not come to destroy you, but to cleanse you. Fire does not come to punish, it comes to purify. You have cried out for more of me, and I have answered by removing everything that cannot carry my glory. Do not mistake this season of refining for abandonment. When the gold enters the furnace, it does not cease to be gold. It simply sheds what does not belong. The pain you feel is not rejection, but transformation. I am burning away what you outgrew, what held you back, what threatened to dull your shine. You say, Lord, I can't take any more, but I say, you are stronger than you think, for I am in the fire with you. I am not watching from a distance. I am standing beside you, turning the heat only as high as your destiny requires. Every test, every pruning, every closed door has purpose. You've asked me to make you usable, but you cannot bear fruit without refinement. Fire reveals what is real. It separates imitation from authenticity. Many admire the flame from afar, but few allow it to touch them. Yet, those who endure it emerge radiant. My child, you are being forged for something far greater than comfort. This process is producing purity, strength, and power that cannot be corrupted. The fire that once terrified you will soon testify for you, for it is shaping you into a vessel of unshakable faith. So do not fear the flames, embrace them. Do not focus on what is being taken, but on what is being revealed. I am burning away fear and replacing it with courage. I am melting doubt and refining it into conviction. What once hurt you will soon serve you. Let the fire finish its work, for when it does, you will emerge not as you were, but as who I destined you to be, refined, radiant, and ready. Do you remember what it felt like when your heart was fully mine? when you spoke to me freely, when your prayers were not formalities but love songs whispered in the quiet. You have drifted, my child, not through rebellion but through weariness. Yet my invitation remains the same. Return to your first love. I am not angry with you. I am longing for you. You think I am asking for perfection, but I am asking for presence. I want you, not your performance. I want your heart, not your checklist. The door to my presence is still open, and I am standing at it, waiting, not with judgment, but with joy at the thought of your return. I know how the world has numbed you, how disappointment has hardened parts of you that used to feel deeply. But I can make your heart soft again. Come back to the simplicity of love, to the moments when you sought me not for answers, but simply for the nearness of my presence. You do not need to fix yourself before you come. I am the one who restores. You say, but I failed too many times. I say my grace is endless, and I still choose you. You are not disqualified, you are desired. Every step you take toward me is met by my embrace. This is your invitation, not to religion but to relationship. To return not to the old, but to the real. Let go of shame, for it has no place in the presence of perfect love. When you come back, you will find that I never moved. I have been here, whispering your name through the noise. Return, beloved, and you will rediscover joy. Return, and your peace will return with you. The table is set, the light is on, and the Father's arms are open wide. You keep saying, soon, but soon is the language of delay. You have felt my nudging, heard my whispers, sensed my prompting to move, yet you keep postponing obedience. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right time, but I tell you, the right time is now. Every delay drains the power of your destiny, for hesitation breeds doubt, and doubt steals momentum. I am calling you to act, not later, but today. Every day you wait, the flame I placed within you flickers a little lower. You pray for direction, yet I've already given you the instruction. You don't need another sign. You need courage. Obedience delayed is opportunity lost. You think you have time, but time is not guaranteed. Every moment matters in the unfolding of my plan. You say, but what if I fail? And I say, what if you never try? Fear has disguised itself as wisdom in your heart, convincing you to analyze instead of act. Yet faith is not found in comfort, it's found in movement. I am not asking you to see the whole path, only to take the next step. When you move, heaven moves with you. When you stay still in disobedience, the blessing meant for this season must wait. Do not underestimate the cost of delay. The harvest does not wait for the hesitant. There are souls tied to your obedience, blessings attached to your yes, and miracles waiting on your movement. I am calling you to rise, to act, to step forward in faith even when you don't feel ready. The enemy whispers, you have time, but I tell you, you have now. Do not miss what I am doing because of hesitation. Move, beloved, for every second you delay, purpose waits in silence. The time for later is over. The hour of obedience is here. Every soul reaches a crossroad, a sacred moment when silence becomes a summons and indecision becomes decision. You are standing there now. Before you are two roads, one of surrender, the other of self-will. One path leads to life, freedom, and purpose, the other to exhaustion and endless striving. You have prayed for direction, and here it is. I am calling you to choose. I will not force your hand because love never coerces. It invites. You can keep walking your own path, building plans from fear and comfort, or you can trust me enough to take the one that requires faith. These way look safe, but it slowly empties the soul. The narrow way feels costly, but it leads to the fullness of your destiny. You must decide what kind of life you want, one you control, or one I breathe through. Every choice writes a line of your story. Every hesitation echoes in eternity. I see how you've stood between these two roads, torn by uncertainty. You fear what obedience will cost you, yet you also sense the deep weariness that comes from resisting my call. You've built walls of logic to protect your comfort, but your spirit knows there is more. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me when you understand nothing. The path of surrender begins where your control ends. It will require you to lay down your fears, your timelines, your need to have every answer, but in exchange, I will give you peace the world cannot offer. Choose me, even when it costs you everything, and you will discover that you never truly lose when you walk in obedience. You stand on holy ground, beloved. The moment of choice is the moment heaven leans in. Do not delay. Step where I lead. I promise you, what waits on the other side of surrender will make every sacrifice worth it. You cannot serve two masters, though your heart has tried to stretch between them. You have felt the tension of divided loyalty, the pull of the world and the whisper of my spirit battling within you. You say you love me, yet you still entertain what weakens you. You hold on to habits that drain your spirit and relationships that pull you backward, thinking you can balance both. But compromise always costs more than it promises. It begins softly, almost innocently. A small concession here, a subtle excuse there, and before long, what once convicted you no longer stirs you. This is how the flame fades, not in a sudden gust, but through slow suffocation. I do not say this to shame you, but to awaken you. I did not create you for lukewarm living. Half-hearted obedience will never yield wholehearted peace. I see the war within you, the longing to be pure and the pull to blend in. You tell yourself that small compromises are harmless, but they chip away at your sensitivity to my voice. Every time you silence conviction, the world's noise grows louder. I am calling you to holiness, not perfection, but a heart undivided in its affection. The cost of compromise is clarity, for when your heart is divided, discernment becomes clouded. You begin to lose the sharpness of vision that once guided you. But hear me. The moment you decide to turn away from compromise, I rush in with cleansing fire. I restore what apathy has dulled. I breathe fresh passion where indifference once reigned. Do not settle for a watered-down version of the life I promised you. The pleasures of compromise are temporary. The peace of purity is eternal. Choose integrity over imitation, devotion over dilution. You are not missing out by walking with me. You are preserving what is priceless. The cost of compromise is too high, and you were made for more. Return to the narrow way, for there, my glory awaits you without mixture or mask. You keep asking me for power, but true power is born in surrender. You have prayed for strength to overcome, yet strength is not found in striving. It's found in yielding. The world has taught you that surrender means defeat, but in my kingdom, surrender is victory. When you release what you cling to, you make room for what I have longed to give. The things you try to control have become the very chains that bind you. You hold so tightly to your plans, your pride, your pain, that your hands are too full to receive my promises. But the moment you open them, the moment you let go, you invite heaven to move. You fear losing yourself if you surrender, but you will only lose what was never meant to define you. I am not taking from you to punish you. I am freeing you from what diminishes you. Every act of surrender draws you closer to my heart, where peace flows like a river and burdens dissolve like morning mist. You do not need to understand the outcome. Only trust the one who holds it. I have seen the nights you wrestle between faith and fear, wanting to trust but afraid of what letting go will cost. But I promise you, surrender never leads to emptiness. It leads to abundance beyond imagination. The power you seek is not in control, but in communion. The moment you stop fighting me, I fight for you. The moment you release your fear, I release my favor. Surrender is not the end of your story. It is the doorway to everything your soul has been craving. Lay it all down, beloved. Lay down the illusion of control, the weight of outcomes, the fear of loss. When your hands are empty, mine will be full on your behalf. And when you surrender all, you will discover that you have lost nothing worth keeping and gained everything worth living for. You look at your pain and see only loss, but I see glory hidden beneath it. You ask me, why must I suffer? And I whisper, because suffering reveals what comfort cannot. There are treasures buried in your trials that could never be unearthed in seasons of ease. Every tear you've cried, every night you've endured in silence, every wound you've carried in secret, I have seen them all, and not one hath been wasted. The world calls it pain, but I call it transformation. You think you are breaking, but you are being remade. I use the fire not to destroy, but to reveal the gold within you. My glory shines brightest through cracks, for light cannot escape the unbroken. You see fragments of your story, but I see the masterpiece forming through your perseverance. When you walk through suffering with faith, you carry the fragrance of heaven, the beauty of a heart that has trusted me in the dark. You have prayed for strength, and I have allowed struggle so that you might discover that my strength is made perfect in weakness. You have asked for deeper faith, and I have led you into storms where your only option was to hold on to me. You have begged for peace, and I have walked you through chaos to teach you that peace is not the absence of trouble, but my presence within it. Every sorrow has been shaping you into a vessel that can hold more of my spirit. When you look back, you will see that what felt like loss was really gain in disguise. I do not take without giving back more. I prune so that you might bear fruit that lasts. Do not despise the pain that has brought you closer to me. I know it hurts, but this is holy ground, the place where heaven touches human fragility. I am not standing apart from your suffering. I am walking through it with you. When you feel abandoned, remember, the cross was not just a symbol of agony, it was the birth of redemption. Likewise, your suffering will not end in ashes, but in glory. Trust me, beloved. I am weaving beauty through the threads of your sorrow, and soon, you will see that every tear was watering the seed of your miracle. Wake up, my beloved, for the days are growing darker, and distraction has lulled many into slumber. You have been watching the world with weary eyes, numbed by its noise and chaos, yet your spirit feels it, the urgency of the hour. This is not a time to drift but to discern. The enemy does not always come roaring, he comes whispering, slowly dulling your fire until passion turns into apathy. Spiritual intoxication is subtle. It makes you comfortable when you should be vigilant, complacent when you should be courageous. I am calling you now to awaken, to shake off the sleep of indifference, and to see with the eyes of eternity. You cannot afford to live half-awake when destiny requires your full attention. I am not calling you to paranoia, but to awareness. The world will call what is holy outdated, and what is wicked normal. But you, my child, must anchor yourself in truth that does not change. Guard your heart, for the currents of this age are swift, and many who once burned brightly have been swept away by compromise. Keep your spirit sober, alert, grounded, discerning. Do not allow fleeting pleasures to dull your hunger for me. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to live with purpose, to pray with intention, to love with eternity in mind. Spiritual sobriety means seeing clearly, recognizing deception for what it is and truth for what it remains. I am pouring out discernment on those who seek me earnestly, for the times ahead will require wisdom beyond human understanding. You must keep your lamp full, your heart steadfast, your eyes fixed on me. Do not numb yourself with distractions or drown your spirit in worry. Arise, shake the dust from your faith, and walk with eyes wide open. The sober heart sees what others miss, and when the world trembles, you will stand unshaken, not because of your strength, but because your roots are deep in me. You once burned with a faith so alive that even your doubts trembled before it, but time, pain, and disappointment have dimmed that flame. I see how you've tried to believe again, how you've whispered prayers you're not sure I still hear. You think your faith is gone, but it is not gone. It is sleeping, and I am here to awaken it. I am breathing upon the embers of your heart, stirring life where resignation has settled. The flame may flicker, but it is not dead. Faith is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to believe in the midst of it. I have not asked you for perfect faith, only persistent faith. The smallest spark of trust can move mountains when it rests in my hands. You have allowed disappointment to whisper lies about my faithfulness, but I have not failed you. What looked like silence was strategy. What felt like absence was preparation. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed promise, every broken dream, it was all a seed waiting for resurrection. And now, I am calling you to believe again. Dust off your hope. Speak my promises aloud. Remind your soul that faith was never built on feelings. It was anchored in truth. You will see again, not because your circumstances change first, but because your heart begins to see through my eyes. You say, Lord, my faith feels too weak. But I say, even a mustard seed is enough. You bring the spark. I will bring the wind. When you trust me again, even in your trembling, the fire will grow stronger than before. I am not disappointed in your struggle. I am delighted that you still desire me despite it. This is how faith is reborn, not through certainty, but through surrender. Open your heart, beloved. Let me breathe on what you thought was gone. The fire that once burned in you will blaze again, not a fragile flicker, but a consuming flame that lights the way for others still trapped in the dark. Do not be alarmed by what I am removing from your life, for this separation is sacred. You have prayed for my will, and I am answering, not only by adding blessings but by subtracting what no longer aligns with your purpose. I am dividing light from shadow, truth from illusion, loyalty from convenience. You have been surrounded by voices, some loving, some deceptive, and I am silencing those that hinder your growth. The pain of disconnection you feel is not rejection, it is refinement. You have asked me to take you higher, but not everyone can climb the mountain I am calling you to ascend. Some were with you for a season, but their season has ended. Do not cling to what I am pruning. What I remove in mercy. I know you miss certain people, places, and patterns that once brought comfort, but you cannot carry everything from your past into your promise. A weight of old attachments will slow the pace of your destiny. You must learn to release with gratitude, not resentment. When I take something away, it is never without purpose. I am protecting your future from what would have poisoned it. Some alliances were draining you quietly, disguised as support but built on selfishness or fear. I am revealing hearts, not to expose but to free you. The separation may sting now, but it will bring clarity later. You will thank me for every closed door when you see the peace that follows. Do not resist this holy divide. Let go with trust, for what I am separating, I am doing out of love. I will never remove what was meant to remain. You will not walk alone in this pruning. I am with you in the silence that follows separation, and soon you will find new connections, pure, divine, aligned with the next chapter of your calling. Allow this process to complete, for what I am building cannot stand on divided foundations. You are being refined for greatness, and separation is the price of sanctification. You have been walking through fog for so long that you've begun to doubt whether you ever saw clearly at all. But I tell you now, I am restoring your vision. The confusion, the uncertainty, the loss of direction, all of it is lifting. Where you saw only chaos, you will soon see my hand guiding every step. You once dreamed boldly, prayed passionately, and believed fearlessly. But the weight of disappointment blurred your sight. You stopped looking forward because looking back hurt too much. Yet I am touching your eyes again, as I did for the blind man, restoring your sight not in a single moment but in stages. First the blur, then the clarity. You will begin to see again, not as you once did, but with greater wisdom, deeper faith, and renewed focus. The enemy tried to steal your vision by flooding your mind with distractions and doubts. He made you believe that your best days were behind you, but I am rewriting that lie. What you thought was the end was only a pause for recalibration. You cannot see through tears of regret, but as you release the past, your perspective will sharpen. Vision requires not just eyes but alignment of heart. I am cleansing the lens of your spirit from fear, resentment, and comparison. I am teaching you to see from my perspective, to discern opportunity and adversity, to find purpose in pain, and to recognize my fingerprints in the ordinary. Lift your head, beloved. The haze is breaking. The path ahead will not be the same, but it will be clear. You will begin to dream again, but this time your dreams will be anchored in my truth, not your timeline. What you see returning is not the same old vision. It is reborn sight, matured by trial and sanctified by surrender. The clarity I am restoring will not only guide you, it will inspire others who have lost their way. The light is returning to your eyes, and soon you will walk with purpose again. I see the wounds you hide, the ones you've learned to smile over, the ones that ache when the world goes quiet. You've built walls around your heart to survive, but those walls have also kept me out. You tell yourself you've healed, yet the scar still burns when touched. My child, let me in. I am the only one who can reach the places too deep for words. You've tried to numb the pain with distraction, busyness, even faith that performs but doesn't rest. But healing doesn't come from avoiding the wound. It comes from inviting me into it. I am not afraid of your pain. I do not flinch at your brokenness. Where others have walked away from your wounds, I walk toward them with compassion. You think healing means forgetting, but true healing is remembering without the sting. I want to make your heart whole, not hardened. You've believed that vulnerability is weakness, but it is the doorway to restoration. I cannot mend what you continue to hide. Bring me your bitterness, your fear, your disappointment, your guilt. Bring it all. My hands are gentle, but they are powerful. I will not rush the process. I will walk with you through it. The heart that surrenders to my touch may ache for a while, but it will not remain broken. I will replace pain with peace, emptiness with joy, fear with faith. Do not be ashamed of your healing journey. It is not a sign of failure, but of faith. Every tear you shed is watering the soil of your new beginning. Soon, the wounds that once defined you will become testimonies of my grace. You will love again, hope again, trust again, because I am making all things new, including your heart. So, release the weight of what was and let me restore what is meant to be. You are not too damaged, not too far gone. You are still mine, and I am still healing you, Even now, you've looked at your life and wondered if you've missed it, if somehow the plan I had for you slipped through your fingers. You've asked, Lord, did I take the wrong path? Have I wasted too much time? But hear me clearly. Your purpose is not lost. It is being renewed. You are not behind schedule. You are right where I need you to be for what comes next. I am breathing new life into places you thought were barren, stirring dormant dreams that once burned brightly but were buried under disappointment. What I placed in you still stands. My calling on your life has not expired because my gifts are without repentance. You have been in a season of seeming stillness not because you failed, but because I have been preparing you in silence. The waiting has not been punishment. It has been a reset, a refining of your motives and a reawakening of your passion. I know how you've wrestled with feeling ordinary, how you've watched others rise while you stood in the shadows. But understand this. I am not measuring your progress by visible results. I measure it by your surrender. Every unseen act of faith, every quiet yes, every small obedience has been building a foundation for something eternal. The purpose I have for you is not only about what you will do, it's about who you are becoming. You've prayed for impact, and I am shaping character strong enough to carry it. You may have thought I forgot your calling, but in truth, I have been renewing it, aligning it, and purifying it. Do not despise this new beginning just because it looks different from what you expected. I am doing something new, and new things never look like old patterns. Your purpose is awakening, not as a return to what was, but as a rebirth into what can be. Let go of regret. It has no place in this next season. I will use every delay, every failure, and every detour to fuel what I am about to do through you. The pen is still in my hand, and I am writing the next chapter with intention. You are not done. You are being renewed. You keep asking for direction, hoping for thunder, but I am speaking in whispers. My guidance rarely comes with a shout. It comes with a stirring in your spirit, a nudge in your heart, a quiet conviction that doesn't fade. You look for signs in the sky when my voice is already moving within you. You've said, Lord, I can't hear you, but you can. You just need to slow down. I don't compete with the noise of your surroundings. I speak to the stillness of your soul. My instruction is not hidden, but it is holy, and to hear it you must quiet the chaos that surrounds you. I lead you step by step, not all at once, because trust grows one step at a time. You don't need to see the full map, just follow the light of today's direction. I have been training your spirit to recognize my whispers because what I am preparing you for requires sensitivity, not spectacle. If you wait for certainty before moving, you will miss the miracle that comes through obedience. I don't give full clarity at the beginning, because revelation unfolds through relationship. When you walk closely with me, I will guide you not only through words but through peace. Peace will be the compass that confirms my will. When confusion fills your mind, step back into stillness. My voice never contradicts my word, and it never stirs fear. It leads with conviction wrapped in love. Stop doubting what I've already confirmed. The instructions may seem small, but in them lies great purpose. What feels insignificant to you may be the key to the breakthrough you've been praying for. Obedience in the small prepares you for stewardship of the greater. When I whisper, it is not to test you. It is to trust you with intimacy. I reveal my secrets to those who listen. So, tune your heart again, for I am speaking even now. And the next step you take in obedience will unlock what your prayers have been waiting for. You felt it, haven't you? The pressure building in the atmosphere, the spiritual tension that makes the air around you heavy. Do not be afraid of the storm that's forming. It is not meant to destroy you but to strengthen you. You have prayed for deeper faith, and I am answering through the winds of adversity. Storms are not always signs of my absence. Sometimes they are the very proof of my movement. The enemy wants you to interpret chaos as defeat, but I am using it as training. You will never know the authority I've placed within you until you face winds strong enough to test it. Every wave that rises against you is another opportunity for my power to reveal itself through you. You were not built to be crushed by the storm. You were created to stand within it and speak peace to it. You ask, why is everything shaking around me? Because what can be shaken must fall away, and what is unshakable must remain. I am solidifying your foundation. The storm is revealing what's weak, not to shame you, but to strengthen you. I am teaching you to depend on me when everything else fails. You will find that in the middle of the tempest, my presence is your anchor. I do not remove the storm. I step into it with you. The waves still know my name, and so do you. Do not waste your storm by fearing it. Use it as a platform for faith. The thunder that frightens others will only confirm my power in your life. When the winds roar, remember that I am the stillness within them. When lightning flashes, remember that even the storm serves my purpose. You will come out of this stronger, wiser, and more secure in who you are and who I am. The gathering storm is not your enemy. It is your proving ground. Stand firm, for when the clouds clear, you will not just survive. You will emerge with authority forged in the fire of endurance and the calm of unshakable trust. You have felt the sting of battle, the weight of unseen warfare pressing hard against your mind and spirit. Yet even in the chaos, you did not fall, because my presence had been your shield. You may not have noticed it, but every attack that could have broken you met my hand first. Every fiery dart that sought to wound your heart was deflected by the covering of my love. I am not a distant protector standing apart from your struggle. I am the unseen barrier between you and destruction. My presence surrounds you like armor, impervious, unyielding, and alive. You have walked through valleys that should have crushed you, and you wonder why you survived. It is because I walked with you. You have been preserved not by luck, not by chance, but by covenant. I have covered you with the shadow of my wings, and what comes against you must pass through me first. When fear whispers that you are alone, remember, I am your refuge and your fortress, your strong tower and hiding place. You need not fight every battle with your hands. Some battles are won by remaining still under the covering of my presence. You often think protection means absence of trouble, but true protection means preservation through it. The storm may rage, but it cannot breach the wall of my glory that surrounds those who trust in me. You have faced rejection and betrayal, but even when hearts turned cold, mine burned for you all the same. I will never abandon what I have chosen. My presence is not conditional on your perfection. It is anchored in my promise. Stay near to me, for your proximity to my presence determines your peace. When you abide in me, fear loses its voice. When you walk in awareness of my nearness, darkness loses its strength. Let your confidence rest not in your ability to fight, but in my power to keep. I am your shield, your unseen defender, your unbreakable covering. Rest under my shadow, and you will find that nothing, no weapon, no word, no wound, can prevail against you. You have wondered if I still speak to you, if my voice has been quiet, if you have somehow drifted too far to hear. But I tell you now, I have never stopped speaking. You have simply stopped listening with expectation. My voice has not been silenced. It has been drowned out by noise, by worry, by the constant hum of the world demanding your attention. Yet those who still their hearts will hear me clearer than ever before. My word is not locked in the past. It is alive, active, and ever-present. I speak through Scripture, through peace, through the stirring in your spirit that will not fade. I speak through creation, through divine interruptions, through whispers that come in moments when you least expect them. You keep asking me to speak, but I am waiting for you to quiet the chaos enough to listen. My voice will never lead you to fear or confusion. It will always draw you toward faith and alignment with truth. The more you walk with me, the more familiar my tone becomes. When you are unsure, return to my word. It is the tuning fork for every sound in your spirit. I have promised that my sheep hear my voice, and you, my child, are one of them. You may have doubted your ability to discern, but my voice is not reserved for the few. It is the inheritance of all who belong to me. When I speak, I don't merely give instruction. I impart identity. My words don't just tell you what to do. They remind you who you are. You've looked for thunder, but often my voice is a gentle breeze that brushes against your heart and brings peace that defies logic. When you sense that peace, know that I am near. The promise of my voice is not that you will always understand immediately, but that I will always lead you faithfully. So, keep your heart open, your spirit attuned, and your eyes lifted. My voice is coming, not as a sound that startles, but as a presence that steadies. Listen, and you will find that I have been speaking all along. You have felt out of place, haven't you? Like you don't fit the flow of this world anymore, like your spirit aches for something higher, purer, truer. That is because I have marked you as part of my remnant. I am raising a generation that will not bow to fear or compromise, a people who will carry my presence boldly in a time of confusion and collapse. You are not being overlooked. You are being set apart. The shaking you feel is not rejection. It is refinement. I am calling forth those who will stand when others fall, who will love when others hate, who will speak truth when silence feels safer. This is your hour of awakening, the moment when faith once tested becomes faith proven. You have watched the world chase vanity, yet your soul longs for holiness. You've seen leaders rise and fall, and still, something inside you whispers that there must be more. Here is. I am birthing a remnant not defined by fame, wealth, or status, but by purity, power, and presence. I am gathering those who have endured hidden seasons of breaking and calling them into purpose. The remnant is not the loudest, it is the purest. They are those who have wrestled with me in the dark and emerged with unshakable faith. Do not envy the crowds. I have chosen you for the consecrated path. This calling will cost you, but it will also crown you. The world will not understand your conviction, but heaven will honor it. You are part of a divine uprising, an unseen army clothed not in armor of pride, but in garments of humility and fire. You will see revival begin not in stadiums, but in surrendered hearts. I am awakening you, my child, for such a time as this. The remnant is rising, and you are among them. Stand firm, walk boldly, and carry the flame. I am with you, and through you, I will move mightily. You have felt the stirring, haven't you? That holy pressure within you, that sense that something greater is about to break through. It is not your imagination, it is the overflow of my spirit. I am filling you, not for your own sake alone, but so that what I pour into you will spill out and touch others. You have prayed for my presence, and I have come not merely to dwell in you but to flow through you. My spirit is not a reservoir to be stored, it is a river meant to move. When you yield to me fully, when you let go of fear and step into faith, you will find that miracles happen not by your effort, but by my overflow. You will speak and hearts will heal, you will pray and burdens will lift. You will move and heaven will move with you. I am not calling you to perform, but to overflow, to live so connected to me that my power becomes your natural expression. The overflow does not come through striving, but through surrender. The branch does not strain to produce fruit, it simply abides in the vine. Stay near to me, and the flow will never cease. You have thought yourself too broken to carry my spirit, but I delight in using cracked vessels, for the light shines best through the cracks. Do not underestimate what I can do through a willing heart. When you walk in my spirit, you become a conduit of my compassion, a carrier of my presence, a vessel of transformation. This is why I have been drawing you deeper, to fill you beyond measure so that you can pour out without running dry. When my spirit overflows from you, it will reach those who have long been out of reach. You will not need to convince others of my reality. They will encounter me through your peace, your kindness, your courage, your love. The overflow is not loud, it is powerful in its quiet authority. It will move through you like wind unseen yet undeniably felt. Stay open, stay yielded, and you will find that your life becomes a living testimony of what happens when heaven inhabits a human heart. You were not meant to contain me. You were meant to carry me into a world that desperately needs the overflow. Lift your eyes, beloved, for the harvest is nearer than you think. You have been sowing in tears, and now I am bringing you to a season of reaping in joy. Do not look at the barren fields of yesterday and assume they define tomorrow. I have been working beneath the surface, nurturing what you thought was dead. The seeds you planted in faith, your prayers, your kindness, your obedience, your perseverance, they have not gone unnoticed. Every unseen act of love had been germinating in the soil of my timing. The season of hidden growth is giving way to visible fruit. But you must lift your eyes, for if you keep looking at your pain, you will miss the promise blooming in front of you. The harvest is not only about what you will receive, but also about what you will give. I am calling you to be a worker in my fields, to reach those who are weary, to restore those who are lost, to bring light where shadows linger. There are hearts ready to be healed, souls ready to be found, destinies waiting to be awakened. You are part of that movement. You have prayed for purpose, and this is it, to partner with me in bringing life where death once ruled. Do not say someday. The time is now. The fields are white, and I am sending you into them. Yes, the work may look great, but you will not labor alone. I will strengthen your hands, guide your steps, and multiply your efforts. What once felt small will now yield abundance. The same ground that once brought disappointment will soon produce delight. Trust me with the process. Harvests do not arrive without labor, but the joy of reaping will far outweigh the pain of planting. This is your season to move with expectation. Lift your eyes from survival to revival. The harvest is here, and you are standing in the middle of it. There are moments when my words come as comfort, and there are moments when they come as a call to awaken. This is one of those moments. Do not ignore what I am saying to you now, for what I am about to do cannot wait for your hesitation. I have been patient, speaking gently, nudging your heart toward obedience, but the time for delay is over. The decisions you make in this season will shape what unfolds next. You stand on a threshold between what was and what could be, and the door will not remain open forever. I am not threatening you. I am urging you. The opportunities before you are divine, but they are also time-sensitive. To postpone obedience is to risk missing the move of my spirit prepared for you. I am calling you to choose life, to choose purpose, to choose alignment with my will even when it costs you. The enemy will whisper, "You have time," but I tell you, you have now. This is not a warning of fear but of love. I see what waits ahead if you hesitate. The missed blessings, the hardened heart, the fading fire, and I desire better for you. I have set before you a path of power, but it requires your yes today, not tomorrow. The window of divine opportunity does not stay open indefinitely. What you sow in this moment will determine what you reap in the next season. My beloved, this is your hour of decision. Heaven and earth bear witness that I am speaking clearly to you. Shake off the apathy that has dulled your spirit. Refuse to keep walking in circles of indecision. Step into what I have prepared, for every delay dulls destiny. Do not ignore this word. It is not condemnation. It is mercy extended one more time. Move with urgency, for what I am calling you to will not wait forever. The time is now. The door is open. Walk through it before it closes. Even now, as the weight of my words settles upon you, I want you to know this. Everything I have spoken, every correction, every warning, every promise, flows from one eternal truth. I love you. My love is not fragile, nor is it conditional. It does not waver when you stumble, and it does not fade when you doubt. You have measured my affection by your circumstances, but my love is not confined to moments of blessing. It is the very air that sustains your soul, even when the path grows dark. I have watched you wrestle with guilt, question your worth, and wonder if you've gone too far for me to reach you. But I tell you, my beloved, there is no distance too wide, no failure too deep, no night too long for my love to cross. You are mine, not because of what you've done, but because of who I am. And who I am does not change. You have feared that your mistakes have disqualified you, but my love is the great Redeemer. It turns ashes into beauty, defeat into testimony, shame into glory. You cannot exhaust my mercy. It renews every morning, flowing fresh with every sunrise. Even when you turned away, I never turned from you. I followed you through every valley, through every season where you thought you were alone, whispering grace into the cracks of your brokenness. I have loved you in your rebellion and rejoiced in your return. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you because you are mine, chosen before time began. You are carved in the palm of my hand, and nothing, no one, no circumstance can erase you from my heart. When you feel unworthy, remember this. My love is not earned. It is received. Stop striving to deserve it. Simply open your heart and let it flood in. My love is not sentimental. It is powerful. It lifts you when you fall, heals what the world has wounded, and gives you strength to begin again. Even my discipline is love in disguise, shaping you into the fullness of who I created you to be. You may not understand every path I lead you on, but if you trust my heart, you will see that every step was marked by love. So rest now, child. Breathe deeply in my presence. Let this truth anchor you beyond the reach of fear. Nothing can separate you from my love, not your past, not your pain, not your present confusion, not even death itself. My love will outlast your failures, outweigh your fears, and outshine every shadow that dares to touch you. You are loved beyond measure, beyond reason, beyond end. And this love, this eternal flame, will guide you through every storm, carry you through every trial, and crown you with peace everlasting. I am yours, and you are mine, forever. Amen.